Hey guys, it's 12:45 a.m. and I wanted to make a quick video blog, talk about something. I can't sleep. I've been reading Facebook posts and catching up on the goings on in Yucaipa for the last few days, and there's a restaurant that posted a thing. I'm going to put it at the end here as a picture. You can read it. You may have to pause the video to read it all, but I'm going to put it so you can read it. But they've said that they're not going to allow anyone with red hats or gang attire into their restaurant. I don't know. I never really know what gang attire is. I never get that. But they're also not going to allow, they said that also applies to law enforcement because of the inaction of deputies who sat in earshot and eyeshot of fighting and did nothing. I'm going to defend those deputies. They were from Yucaipa. Before I get to that, though, I want to give you a quick qualification here for those who may not know, those who may have joined my YouTube channel and not seen my earlier videos. I've been to 2 police academies, graduated both. In Texas, I actually went to Austin, Texas, and scored in the 90 percentile for level 1 peace officer. So I certified as a level 1 peace officer, but before I could go and get hired at a department to become a police officer, my father had a heart attack, massive heart attack, and I had to come back here to California where he died, and I just never went back to Texas. I just stayed here with mom and my sister and my brother, my sister's husband, with the family. I just never made it back. But I did graduate and took the test and was certified. I could have put in applications and became a cop. So I know a lot about law enforcement, So, but there are people that are saying, you were overreacting. You were saying, oh, they're killing the guy. They weren't killing him. They were beating him down and da-da-da. Let me qualify why I reacted the way I did. And yeah, I hit the panic button, but here's why. And again, and I want to also give you a preface. I apologize to everybody that I was worried about a human life. I apologize. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was really too worried about that human life. I should have been cheering on the fighting like other people and saying, yeah. But I heard 2 men, distinctly 2, from the other side of the street, across from Arco. I heard 2 men yelling, kill him, kill him. And I couldn't see from my vantage point where the guy was at. I know he fell, and if you watch somebody else's video, you'll see he did fall in the middle of the roadway. I didn't know he got up. I couldn't see where he was at. I just saw a crowd of people, and I heard these 2 guys yelling, kill him! And I thought, they're probably killing this dude. They already had one guy who had been smacked in the eye, and he had blood running all over his face. I'm thinking, this poor guy, he's probably unconscious, and they're probably kicking him and beating him, and his kidneys are probably exploding. I don't know, but... So I apologize that I was concerned about human life. And a lot of the people that are laughing and saying, you overreacted, they weren't killing the guy. Those are people that are most likely support and condone that fighting. They support and condone the violence that happened in Yucaipa that should never have happened in Yucaipa, in the middle of the street like that. People say, well, they shouldn't have run their mouth. They wouldn't have got hit. What are you, 13? Because a lot of the people I saw there were over 30 or over 40. But when you go, you run your mouth, you're going to get punched. What are you, 15, 13? What are you, in junior high? Middle school, I'm sorry. Because I don't know, it looked like a lot of the people that I saw were older than high school age. Means you should be a little bit more mature. They're running their mouth. Look, he called you a cracker. So, give me some cheese. I don't know. What am I, a Ritz? Make a joke. I don't know, but to run across the street and start pounding somebody because he's running his mouth. What are you, from Tennessee? You from Alabama? You from Georgia? No, this is Yucaipa, California. This isn't Macon, Georgia. And I've been there. I've been all over the South. Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Fort Gordon, Georgia. Look it up. Fort McClellan in Alabama. And so the two deputies that sat in their car, the restaurant has said that, this applies, they're not going to allow people with red hats or gang attire. And they said this applies to the two deputies that sat in the car who, I forget how they word it, but you'll see it because I'm going to put it so you can read it. But something about they were associated with the gangs or they are associated with the fighting because they just sat in their car. And I think they got that from my video. And I don't want my video I'm going to leave it up, but I don't want it to cause these two deputies to be judged wrongly. I really don't. I don't want the Yucaipa PD to be judged wrongly. There's a few deputies that have given me heartache because they don't like to be recorded on camera. But I'll tell you here now, all you law enforcement officers that may watch this video, why do I record deputies? Because of the George Floyds, the Breonna Taylors, the Ahmaud Arbery's, the Trayvon, I could go on and on with the names. I was trying to think of the one in Missouri where the cop shot him in the back. I could go on and on and on about things that have happened to people by law enforcement. And if there wasn't a camera there, it would have been cop's word versus this person's word. But because someone had the discipline to record that police interaction, now we have what really happened on camera. That's why I record the police. It's not because I think cops are bad. It's because there are cops who are bad. And they'll lie. And if you're not recording, DeKalb County, Georgia, a police officer shoots an unarmed, naked man who's out of his mind on drugs and says, well, he grabbed a hold of me, he was going for my gun, and I had to do it to defend my life. And then a camera video shows up, a video pops up. He shot the guy from 6 feet away and told his partner who got there, well, he tried to grab my gun and I defended myself with use of force. And that's how it went down. It was going to go down that way until the video popped up and they said, that's not what happened. So he got charged with homicide. That's why you record the police. It's not because all cops are bad. It's because there are cops who are bad, who will lie. So the community needs somebody to record to tell the truth. They say, why don't you record drug dealers and prostitutes? And because they didn't take an oath. They didn't swear an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of California to protect and serve. Law enforcement officers did swear an oath. So we're going to uphold them to their oath. I'm a taxpayer. They're working on my tax money. I'm going to make sure they uphold their oath. And most of them do. So these two deputies sitting in their car. And I ran up and screamed at them and everything. And because I'm sorry, I was concerned with a human life. You know what? You overreacted. Should I have underreacted? Should I have went, they're killing that dude? No, I was saying do something. I apologized to them later. I don't know if I said this. It's really late and I'm sorry. I might be a little redundant here. But I apologized to them later, and one of the deputies said, it's all right, it happens. It's no biggie. He probably knows, hey, this guy was concerned. Adrenaline was high. Once everything started to come down, though, I started to reflect on it. And they were waiting on backup, and that's why I went to apologize to him, because I noticed as soon as the two other units came in code 3, they hit their lights and came in and turned in. They were waiting on backup. Because as we've learned from Los Angeles and Santa Monica and New York and Chicago and Minneapolis and St. Paul, people don't care about cop cars. People will throw bricks through the back windows. People will catch them on fire. People will flip them over. People don't, when you have the mob mentality like that and a mob of people are fighting or rioting or whatever in the street, they don't care about cop car. So they were waiting on backup to come in so these two cops didn't drive in there and all of a sudden have rocks coming through their window or what have you. Yeah, I get it now. So that restaurant is blaming them for inaction. I don't think it was inaction. I think they were waiting on backup. So in essence, they were waiting to act, but they have to do it. They come in, those guys jump on them. Now 2 cops have lost their handguns. Now you have police handguns that could be used to shoot at the crowd because they could jump them. But when those other 2 cars came in, now you got 6 or 8 cops out there. Now they can handle a crowd. But you got 2 cops trying to run in there and handle these 20 people that were fighting in the middle of the street. It's not safe, and I get that. So I don't want people to blame the Yucaipa Police Department or those 2 deputies for not acting fast enough. Why it took them so long to get there, I don't know. They may have been on another call. It did take them a long time to get there, though. But I don't know why. They may have been on a call. They may have been, maybe there was a 242 or a 245 or domestic violence somewhere on the other street and they were over there handling that. I don't know. But I know now why they sat in their car and did nothing. So please don't blame them for that. And restaurant, you'll see, I'm not going to say the name of it here, but you'll see it because I'm going to put the picture up. So I don't have to say it, you'll see it. But don't blame law enforcement because 2 deputies sat in their car. They were waiting in the name of officer safety, which essentially is our safety. Because like I said, if those 2 deputies went running in there to break up the fight and 11 people jumped on those 2 cops and pulled their guns away from them, now you got civilians with guns shooting them at people, and it goes south on you real quick. It goes from 1 to 100 like that. So they're waiting on other units to arrive. I get that. And finally, to end this long rant, I know I talk long. I'm sorry, I can't. I've tried to keep it down to 2 to 4 minutes. I can't. I talk a lot. But to end this, I'm at an age now where I say you could think anything you want about me. I don't care. Just know this. I love Yucaipa. I do. I think it's a great city. I know there's a lot of people here who hate me because of this or that, but it's funny how a lot of those people also have never looked at the whole picture. Like a guy the other night said, he saw me walking down the sidewalk with my camera and he goes, "Oh, you're the guy who all the cops hate because you're always harassing them." Really? How come there's so many videos of cops of Yucaipa police officers going, "Hey, Jimmy, what's up, buddy?" Or "Hey, Jimmy," or shaking my hand, or saying, "Hey, Jimmy, what's up? Hey, how you doing?" There's a lot of videos like that. And you know why? Because they appreciate what I'm doing. Because I'll tell you what, my videos aren't just to watch the cops. Oh, there's a few times when the cops were accused of doing something and they watched my video and went, "Oh no, the cop was just doing his job. That guy did it." Yeah. You didn't know that, did you? Like this video here, they're going to say, well, the protesters started it by standing over there protesting and screaming at people. No, it was the people from Yucaipa Bicycle Shop that crossed the street first. They say, well, they threw water bottles at us, or they, I don't know. I didn't see that. And I was standing there recording, and I didn't see them throw anything across the street. I didn't. I saw them yelling at them, but you know what? Sticks and stones may break my bones. How does it go? But I didn't see the people by Arco throw anything across the street. I didn't see it. Maybe some people from passing cars did. That doesn't mean they're associated with those people, those young teens that were over across the street. But you will say that because it fits your narrative. What I saw was a group of people that were protecting the city run across the street and pick a fight with people under 25 who were just standing there trying to say justice for George Floyd. Well, George Floyd's in Minnesota. We're in California. Yeah, well, Kelly Thomas was in California and 2 cops beat him to death. Both of them were convicted of homicide. LAPD, a man fondled a dead woman, caught on his body cam. That was Los Angeles. I could go on and on about California's problems with law enforcement. Texas, New York, Ohio, Maryland, all these states, Michigan, Chicago, Illinois, all these places that have problems with law enforcement. And you know what? The biggest issue is nobody was recording at that time. So you have to ask for the body camera. Unfortunately, for David McAtee, the cops didn't have their body cameras on in Louisville, Kentucky, so we don't know what happened. And we probably never will. Had Jimmy been there recording it from outside, we would have got both sides. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry it's so long. If you watched all the way through, God bless you. But I just want you to know that for those who are proud of Yucaipa and are protecting Yucaipa lawfully in the right way, God bless you. For those who are causing trouble and then trying to, justify it with, well, they're running their mouth. What are you, 16? Act like a mature adult. We're supposed to be the mature ones. But there's no reason to start a fight in the middle of the street and say, well, they were protesting and they were going to bring looters and they were going to bring this. They didn't. In fact, a whole bunch of people came the next day. And you know what they did? They protested peacefully up and down the sidewalk. They didn't loot. They didn't burn anything. They never said F the police. They never threw any bottles or anything. They just walked down the street chanting, letting their voices be heard. How about that? How is it that the younger generation can act more mature than us older folks? We're ready to fight. We're ready to rumble. Come to our town. Really? So our town is this is a private city? Like this isn't part of America where people can travel here and look and we don't want people coming to our city. They're troublemakers. Oh. What are we, in Mississippi? In 1961? This is Yucaipa, California. It's part of the United States. I think people can freely travel through here under the rights of the Constitution, have free speech, free press, peaceably assemble. How is this our town? Come to our town. We'll run you out by sunset. You're going to hang, boy. Really? Really? Why not? Hey, welcome to Yucaipa. We got some gift shops over here. We got, we've got Del Mar Grill. Go get you some great food. We've got the All-American Road Trip. We've got, Los Fuentes. Guys, come to our town and eat our food and have fun. And, that's what we should be saying. Not, don't come to our town. We'll run your ass out. What? Thank you, guys. Thank you. Good night.